Hello, good afternoon. My name is Will Nemechek. I'm the president of St. Ambrose University Dance Marathon. I want to thank you all for taking the time to um, watch this video and give me feedback and critique me. Yeah. So, building cause connection through a $12 food voucher might sound a little odd and might be, something a little difficult to wrap your head around, but I'll get into the details here in a moment. First, I want to introduce our program, SAUDM. We are at St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa. I'm guessing most people have not heard of St. Ambrose University. We're very small. It's about 2,300 undergraduate students, about 3,000 students total, including graduates. So we're very small. We're right in the Quad City region on the Illinois-Iowa border, somewhat mid-sized metropolitan area. But for the most part, we're in a very smaller area with a smaller university, smaller student body. In our 13 years, though, at St. Ambrose, we've raised $2.3 million for the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. It's something we're very proud of. We're a very small program, but we've raised as much money as we possibly can over the past 13 years, and we're very proud of that. We're even more proud of the fact that we have 61 families and children that we support. We actually just got our 61st about, I think, a week ago. So we're very proud of how many families that come back year after year and want to work with us more and more because we are able to provide, that emotional support that we think that they deserve. And we're very proud of that they continue to trust us year after year and come back and enjoy their time with us. So this year we were blessed to have the opportunity to fund the Food for Families project. This project provides meals for families during their stay at Stead. Each meal voucher that can be funded is only $12 and can provide meals for up to 4 people. Each family only gets one voucher per day every day that they're in the hospital. Our funds our funds this year helped aid in the expansion of this program to all 12 levels of the Children's Hospital. This isn't necessarily something people really think about very often. It's not when you think of, going and having to stay at the hospital, especially for a family with young children, you don't think about meals and you don't think about parking, but those are things that DM programs can cover. UIDM at Iowa provides the funds for parking, and this year we had the opportunity to be able to provide meals for families, take an additional burden off their plate, and I'll talk more about kind of why or how we incorporated that perspective into our cause connections this year. So first off, efficiency and efficacy in education. Constantly we need to make sure that we are teaching our dancers and teaching students, faculty, staff on the campus all about our program and what our mission is, in making sure that there's no miscommunication and no improper education on what we do or where our funds go. That has been an issue that we've struggled with at St. Ambrose, and I'm sure that's an issue that other universities face as well. So educating students, faculty, staff on campus is really important in strengthening our fundraising capacity year after year, and simply just being able to spread our mission on campus changes how we're seen in the community. Professors are very active in the community, whether that be in governmental organizations for the city, or some of the more charitable organizations as well. And just getting our name out there to professors will help spread our name throughout the community and help us, get our mission out in the community a little bit more, have businesses reach out to us for sponsorships and things like that. So really just helping develop kind of our overall presence in the community and in the Quad Cities community especially, which is one that we're very proud to be a part of. Also pushing our members to learn more about exactly what we fundraise can help our program, help any program do more than just fundraise. Educating morale captains especially properly will aid in recruitment and retention throughout the year, and will help build a foundation for the future of your program. At Ambrose, we have a very small program, so we need to constantly make sure that we are building this core group of people that will help us continue into the future. People that are dedicated to our program and dedicated to our efforts and want to keep helping year after year. even after they've graduated and they become alumni and come back year after year. So educating those morale captains, as well as our alumni engagement people, and what we're doing each year, what our mission is each year, is really, really critical. Utilizing campus resources and pushing collaboration with other student organizations, university offices, will help further spread awareness while also increasing um, our capabilities. We've collaborated at Ambrose with the Office of Residence Life, the Campus Activities Board. Um, we've worked with the president of the university very closely before, our catering company that does all of our food. Um, all kinds of things, for things like awareness dinners, our gala, which I'll talk about later. Um, just anything that we possibly can try to work with other university offices and other student organizations is really important, especially organizations that are targeted towards helping student government or student opportunities, like student organizations, like Student Government Association at Ambrose. One thing, especially for me, I'm a very visual person, and I think a lot of people are, is visualizing the impact that we have. It's very difficult sometimes to wrap your head around certain fundraising projects, which is very understandable, but we need to do our best as an executive board, as committee members, to try to help visualize what it is we are doing each year, why we're funding what we're funding, what our money might be going towards at the hospitals, those kinds of things. Simplification, just making it as simple as possible, will help not only our dancers and new dancers that we are recruiting that year, but other people, family members that we're trying to ask for donations. If you're sending letters to people back home, things like that will really help and aid in kind of being able to bring in donations, and B, really, really, once again, driving home that cause connection. Having people understand why they're doing what they're doing will help them develop why they want to be there and why they keep doing it day after day, year after year. Um, we I asked our hospital representative last year to send us a copy of one of the food vouchers that we'd be funding. That is that white document there on the left. Not exactly the most aesthetically pleasing document in the entire world. So we had one of our executive board members make um, just a simpler version of a food voucher, so people could kind of see it and understand it, what it is we're funding, and not a document like that necessarily. So we have this graphic here that was created by one of our executive board members. That was, we used it in social media posts. We made a giant one and blew it up on one of the walls for our big event, just to once again really remind everyone constantly of why we're doing what we're doing, and helping people understand that by simplifying and visualizing the impact that we have year after year. Once again, that can be done through graphics. This ties back to that education aspect of that very quick being able to have people look and immediately be able to tell what it is we're doing, why we're doing it, what we're funding every year. These are for our spring and fall push days. So we would do our public relations and marketing director would make these portfolios of all of these graphics that people could post on their stories all day long. They were 25, 30, 35, graphics each, and people could pick from them and put them on their stories. So it helped in education, it helped in recruitment, and it helped really make it very easy for people to be able to do these kinds of things and connect with the program more, really kind of integrate them more into the outreach aspect. And everyone's a part of the fundraising. It's not just exec or committees, it's also all of the dancers that are part of the organization as well. Pushing dancers to create that unique cause connection to them, that is unique to themselves and unique to your program, is key in furthering your organization's mission, strengthening fundraising capacity, and most importantly, creating bonds between dancers and kiddos. At Ambrose, something that we really, really push is that bond between dancers and kiddos, because that is where our connection is. That is why we do what we do. But having that cause connection that is unique to your program is it's not going to be like one of those generic donation requests that people get all the time. We want people to be able to have this passion and this really unique cause connection as to why they do what they do. One way of doing that is going beyond that elevator pitch. I'm sure most programs have some kind of elevator pitch where you have to, or you have this thing that if anyone asks if you're on an elevator and you want to tell someone what dance marathon is, what would you tell them? And it's a couple lines. Dance Marathon is a year-long celebration to provide financial support to our local Children's Miracle Network hospital, provide emotional support to numerous families in the Quad City area um, of Iowa and Illinois. Blah blah blah. This is our mission statement from our website. Obviously, it's important to have something like this and to be able to revert to it, if need be. But we really, really want dancers, committee members, executive board members to develop a connection to our program. You want them to push past that superficial level. You don't just want them to regurgitate the same answer every single time someone asks. We rely on canning, going door to door and asking for free will donations at Ambrose, as a very good way of us getting more donations from our community. And we don't just want to say the same thing every single time. We want people to talk about why it is they do what they do, and that requires developing that cause connection, going beyond that mission statement, that elevator pitch. Um, One good way of kind of pushing them past that elevator pitch is diversifying programming. Having all of these unique types of programs that might appeal to different types of people in one way or another, really just to kind of push that point home, or try to push them to develop that connection and find some event, some person, some whatever it is that allows them to connect with our program, with our cause. Some people like to see that in more formal settings. So each year we have an annual gala. That's it's a fundraising event, but we invite representatives from the hospital as well as parents of our dancers and committee members and exec board. It's a very formal event, but some people find that connection there to see all of these people coming together for such a nice formal event, and it provides this almost legitimacy to our program because it is a student-run program. We have Kids Can't Wait to Skate. It's our Christmas event every year. It's a very family-oriented program. A lot of people rely on developing those connections with families to be able to connect with our program, to develop that cause connection. At Ambrose, two of our really, really important ones are some of our most high-energy events of the year, our fall and spring push days. On the left there, you can see our fall push day. Can't stop, won't stop to the finish line. That was a really fun day. It was a little cold. We all got pied out in the quad there. So just having those high energy events, and then we had on the right, excuse me, we had our spring push day, we had a lot of families come to this year, which was really, really exciting for us to be able to connect at such a high energy event. We're seeing all these kids get excited about this and connecting with our dancers. While also having dancers see how much passion is truly there in events like this. Um, Also, tying back our big event theme every year to remind ourselves of why we do what we do is another really important thing. 2 years or 3 years ago now, excuse me, we did This Legacy, Their Lifetime, reminding us that our kiddos, their life is why we do what we do. Their legacies, we're trying to make our program be their legacies. We have, I think, 12 now. We just got our 61st family, but it's our 12th Dancing in Our Heart family. Those who a child has unfortunately passed away due to their illness, and we try to remember them as best as we can. Every event we have Dancing in Our Hearts ceremony. So reminding us that our legacy, or their legacy, is our program, what we do year after year. One Community, One Cause was 2 years ago. We're all united for this one cause, this one mission that we continue to do year after year. Make Today Matter was this past April, or this past big event. We really tried to make it, remember, every little moment counts, every little thing that you do, every little dollar you raise really, really matters. Connecting with your project overall. This is something that changes year to year. You need to constantly be adapting and changing your approach with this program, with your project, excuse me, to make sure your program pushes into the future as best as possible, especially each year as your program changes. Fundraising project. Even if your program does not necessarily have a fundraising project and it is just fundraising for the Children's Hospital, um, still finding a way to connect that with realistic kind of what you might be funding at the hospital, and just trying to help people see what you might be funding at the hospital. Excuse me. It's essential to always connect back to that fundraising project. At Ambrose, we funded things like NICU equipment, funding for the Ponseti Endowment, which trains physicians in how to treat clubfoot so they can go into developing nations and treat that. Um, the SAU DM Child Life Resource Space at the Children's Hospital. We gave the single largest gift to the general nursing fund at the Children's Hospital as well, which helped fund things like respite rooms for the nurses to help improve their quality of or their quality of quality of life at work. Excuse me, while they're there at the hospital, which improves overall patient care. We've this year obviously funded the Food for Families program, so finding that connection and that passion, working with the families, showing that each little thing, like covering those meal vouchers, means a lot. Or covering those meals means a lot to us. Being able to simply do that is amazing for us. One of the coolest things I think that we've done is fund an inclusive playground at the Children's Hospital. We get messages on social media all the time about how their kids, the parents' kids just love to play on it when they're at the hospital, and they're so appreciative of our program being able to fund things like that. And every little thing, every one of those things is just as valuable as the other. You just need to find why it's valuable, why we're doing what we're doing, even when it's something a little bit harder to visualize, especially things that are going to be like the General Nursing Fund or the Ponseti Endowment. Very, very important things to be funding, but you need to make sure we are talking about why we are funding those things specifically. One of the most important things is connecting with kiddos, finding ways to have your program, have members of your program connect with your families, with those kids that are coming to your events. We always want, I've said it a couple times, why do we do what we do? Our passion for the last 13 years in Ambrose has been our program has been rooted in the children we support and their families. We strive to constantly keep them at the heart of what we do. No matter what we're funding each year, we're always funding these things for them, in memory of them, because they are why we do what we do. Our 61 families at Ambrose, whether we have 61 families, some have hundreds and hundreds, and some might have 10. You could have one. You could have however many families. It's still in memory of them. They are why we do what we do year after year. So remembering that and having your members connect with that specifically. Show don't tell is another thing that I really like to try to incorporate into that cause connection, and building that cause connection is we want our dancers and campus to see our passion for our families, our hospital, and our fundraising overall, rather than just telling them. This ties back to going beyond that elevator pitch, and connecting with our project and connecting with our kiddos. At SAU, the unwavering commitment of our members, that dedication to our program, is the key to our continuous success and is the key to our future as well. And I think that goes for any program. Being able to show that passion rather than just regurgitating the same thing over and over and over again. Being able to really show how much this program and what we are doing means to people is really where we're going to see that cause connection, and be able to see that new cause connection in our new dancers year after year after year, because we have to pass this program along. We have to continue to find new people that are just as passionate as we are about this, and developing cause connection is the most important thing, and continuing to do that year after year, because we want them to be doing it for the correct reasons. Excuse me. Some numbers aspect of these things. So working through kind of the food vouchers this year really helped us, because it was a very easily understandable and really very, very visual thing that we were able to get across and have people visualize and understand. There was a significant drop in $0 dancers. We had an 18% drop, and we recorded our lowest ever number in registered dancers that raised $0 over the year. We had just 13% of our dancers raise that, which is really very big deal for us because we need every one of our dancers to do as much as we possibly can because of the size of our program. But this is, applicable to any program. That visualization of these things will help kind of those $0 dancers push them over the edge to the point where they will see why we're doing what we're doing and try to help aid in that. We also saw a very large increase in per capita fundraising, 33%. We saw almost in 2 years ago from that number, we've almost doubled from that point. Despite involvement levels on our campus being low, we have found a passionate core of dancers and committee members that continue to push and fundraise each year, which has been very, very valuable for us. This past year, we raised $192,643.27. That funded 16,503 meal vouchers, which can provide meals for up to 64,214 individuals to families of patients being treated at STED. We're very thankful for that, for this number and all of what we could do this year, but it was really, really driven home by being able to develop that cause connection in each and every one of our executive board members, committee members, and our dancers, and even just our campus and community in general. So, time allotted for questions, and then thank you. I appreciate everyone's time once again for coming and listening, and I appreciate everyone that will be watching this video and giving any critiques back. Feel free to contact me at that email there, saudm.president@gmail.com. You can text or give me a call. I'd prefer email. And then be sure to follow us on our socials, and continue to follow us throughout our journey this year. So once again, thank you for your time.